Good morning. Hello, everybody. I'm going to give it just a minute while I pull up this live video on my tablet so I can see all of the comments rolling in, and we'll get started in just a minute or two. So if you're joining me, hello. How are you doing? Just give me 1 second while I get this live video pulled up on my tablet so that I can look up and see all the comments. If you're popping in, tell me how you're doing this morning. Good morning. So thankful that you are joining me this morning for a little stretch session. Hey, Cece. All right, so I'm pulling this video up on my tablet so I have all the comments. Leave me the comments. Happy to answer any questions, or if you just want to pop in and say hello, then do so. It's taking me a little bit longer than I thought. All right, so welcome, Stretching Away COVID Stress. There we go. How's everybody doing this morning? Okay. Welcome. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so, yeah, I know this has been a time with the schooling at home. It's been a year. It's been crazy. On top of it, here in this house, my dad is doing some kitchen renovations. So let me tell you, myself and many of my clients have been carrying lots of extra stress. So, hello, Katie. Welcome. So we've all been carrying different stressors. We know the places that we usually carry stress: in our shoulders, in our necks, and other places in your low back. But when we're carrying tension in all these other places, you can also be carrying tension in your pelvic floor without even realizing it. So today we are going through a short stretching session that you can do. You can follow this video on your own time at home. Anytime that you want to relieve tension in those muscles that often get tense, and then the ones that we don't think about getting tense. So we're going to even talk about the pelvic floor and how to go about that relaxation as well. Now, this stretching session, since we are in the morning, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with more static stretching. So we're going to actually start laying down, and we're going to move to positions where we eventually end standing up, because we don't want to bring the energy down in the morning, right? We need to go get kids ready and do things and go about our days. So we're going to end in standing. So we're going from static to more dynamic or standing stretches. If you're doing this stretching session at night, what you're going to do is just flip it around. So you're going to start from standing, and then you're going to end in those relaxation positions, in those static stretches at what we're going to do at the beginning of this stretching session. So, are you ready? Is everybody ready? I've got my yoga pants on, so you see you're putting yours to good use. Okay, so these are really great stretches that I program for my clients all the time. They're very helpful in pregnancy and postpartum, and really anytime you're feeling you're carrying extra tension. Without further ado, let's get started. We're going to start on our backs. Legs out straight. And you're going to start with a spinal twist. So bringing one knee up, you're going to place your hand on the outside of your knee and then kind of coax that knee over to a place that feels comfortable to you. You should feel stretching here in these little tiny glute muscles and in your back over here. You can also place your knee on a pillow or a foam roller if you have one, if this isn't feeling super comfortable for you. I'm going to hold this on this side for just a few more minutes. I have my back arm out to the side. This helps me open up my chest. Good. Now come back to center. Bring that leg out straight and then switch. So bringing knee up and then over, rolling into it, keeping that back arm straight and shoulder pinned down to ground as much as you can. You might notice that on one side, your range of motion is different Then on the other one, same here. Good. If y'all are leaving comments, I will check them as soon as we head into this next stretch position, but we've got one more of these on each side. And why I do two is because you'll notice that you get more range of motion after that initial stretch there in those hips. Good. And you can always leave this hand off if it's becoming uncomfortable for you. Just go with that natural range of motion that you already have. But this hand is here just to coax a little bit more rotation. This is great for stretching out those low back muscles. And then one more. See, you can get a little more range of motion on that side. It feels a little less restricted. I don't know about for you, but for me. Good, keeping that shoulder back, releasing tension in that whole back and glute area that can get, I don't know about you, but when I get stressed, my glutes are like squeezed all the time. So this is gonna help relax them out. All right, now come back to center. I'm gonna scoot up just a little bit so you can see kind of my feet. So what I'm gonna do is walk my feet towards the camera. So I'm walking both feet, my feet are pointed straight up to the ceiling. So both my feet to the camera. And then I'm gonna take my front leg, cross it over the back, and pull a little bit. And then I'm reaching up with that same arm, so I'm kind of making this C shape in that side. So you're feeling that nice stretch all the way down the back side. Ooh, those muscles are tight. And of course you can reduce your range of motion if you get any pain or discomfort. And then walking those feet to the other side as far as you can go. So the leg closest to you is gonna cross over the leg furthest away. And then we're gonna reach towards that other side. And again, you may notice more or less tension side to side. My 1-year-old has been only being, she just wants to be held all the time. And that's my right side. So right side tightness you may find if you're holding babies or kiddos a lot. All right, release that. Nice. So you should be nice and stretched out in the low back and in those sides. We're gonna roll over into a quadruped or an all fours position. All right. Let's see. Okay, so going into this pelvic floor relaxation, we're gonna start on all fours in this quadruped position. One place we often hold tension is our bellies, and a lot of my clients don't even notice it, that they're just tensing up their belly all day long. So we're gonna work on relaxing that. And what that's gonna do is help you relax your pelvic floor as well. So you can focus on one or the other, either your belly or the pelvic floor, whichever cue connects with you best. But it may not serve you well to focus on all of it at the same time. I'm gonna go through the 2 different cues and you pick which one works best for you. All right. So first we're gonna start with the belly. What you're gonna do is take a big, deep inhale and just let your belly fall and relax as you inhale. And then exhale. Not drawing belly button to spine, but think of it as more as a lifting your belly button in as you draw. So drawing gentle tension as you exhale. Now that's if you're focusing on the abdomen. If you're focusing on the pelvic floor, cue, as you inhale and relax your belly, your pelvic floor is going to drop down and open up as well. So think of it as like your hip bones are going to get a little bit further apart back there. So inhale, feel that pelvic floor open, and then exhale. You're going to draw up and in like you're pulling a tissue out of a tissue box. One more breath here, and then exhale and lift. Very, very good. And you can tell me in the comments, once you do that a few times, if any of those cues resonated with you, which one felt better for you, which one helped you kind of feel that relaxation in both your pelvic floor and your core. So staying on all fours, we're going into one we know really well, the cat-cow, stretching out and warming up the shoulders for the rest of the day. Shoulders and that low and mid back. So you're gonna push the floor away, rounding your upper and low back. And then drop your chest and your belly down, lift your tailbone towards the ceiling, get as much motion in that back as you can. A couple more. Nice and slow. Feel all those muscles stretch out in your shoulders. And then drop. Pull your shoulder blades back. Tailbone points to ceiling. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. And one more nice and slow one. Good. Nice big stretch of that low back. Perfect. Awesome. Now, next position we're going into is a half kneeling. We're just going to do one or two per side here. So, I want you to come into a half kneeling, which just means one leg is going to be back, one leg is going to be forward. We're going into a rotation first. This is a plane of motion that we often kind of forget about. We do all the other ones, but then we forget about that rotation piece, which is really helpful when you're experiencing any tightness or symptoms. So take your arm, same as that front leg, twist and reach. You can place your hand on the outside of your knee if that feels okay to you. If it's throwing you off balance, don't worry about it. I've got my back toe tucked, but you can have that foot flat to the floor if that feels better for you. Good. Come back to center. All right. Good. Rotate on through. Perfect. Feel that nice stretch in the side, that strength in the shoulder. And then back to center. Now, before we switch sides, I want you to take your hand, the one of the same leg that's back, place it on the ground, and you're going to rotate as far as you feel comfortable. So it can start here, or you can reach up to the ceiling. Rotating through, feeling all that stretching in those muscles that do the rotating in your trunk and your shoulders. Good. And back to center. Change sides. Okay, so switching, so that other foot is forward. You're going to take your hand, remember the same one as the leg that is forward, and you're going to rotate through. You can place this hand on your outer thigh if that feels good to you. Hold, hold, hold. Feel that nice big stretch, that opening of the chest. These chest muscles can get super duper tight when we're feeding, carrying, holding, rocking, all the things with kids. Back to center, desk working. One more. Nice job, friends. Good. And remember, before we move to standing, we're going to do one more rotation. Bring it back to center. Place your hand on the ground. You can start and stay here if this is the only range of motion you have today, or if that feels best to you. Otherwise, reach up to the ceiling. Feel that big T-spine stretch. Your T-spine is your thoracic, right there in your mid-back. Good, friends. All right, perfect. Bring it on up to standing. I'm going to give you just a second as we transition. Check out these comments. Hello, Ashley. Awesome. Alante, I hope I said that right. Jamie, Adrian. Yay, thank you so much for joining me. Angie, Taylor, Katie. Awesome. Okay. So into standing, we've got 3 more stretches to go. Standing low back stretch, some neck rolls to release tension, and then a nice doorway pec stretch. I don't necessarily have a doorway, so I'm going to figure out how to make it work. All right, so going into your low back stretch, I like to have a band or a chair that I hold on to. I've just got a bench over here, which is a little low, or you can use a wall. You're going to come into this position where your hips are untucked, your back is nice and straight, and you're Arms are out front. And you're gonna rock side to side very gently. Now, if this feels not right, too challenging, like it's not really that much of a stretch, it's more of a workout, I want you to move to a higher surface. I have this wall, so I can turn around and show you. It's just like this, and that'll take a little more tension off of your legs. I just don't want to have my butt facing you this morning. I don't think that's a nice way to start your Wednesday, right? All right. So just a few more seconds there in that low back stretch. If you don't have anything to hold on to, you can come here. Just a forward fold will work just fine. And rocking those hips side to side, back and forth. Rolling back up. Feet back under hips. You can also do these neck rolls seated if you'd like to. We're just going to drop our head to the front. Head over to one side. Oh, feel that tension releasing right in there, yeah? Roll it to the back and then over to the other side. Any different side to side for you? Ooh, I know for me for sure. And then back to the front. A few more times, nice and slow with that. To the side. Feel that nice big stretch. Try to push your shoulder down a little bit if it's starting to creep up on you. Back to the back. And then over to the other side. The neck roll is one that I often forget about, and it feels so good when you remember to do it. All right, roll to one side. This is the last one. I can even feel that releasing in here. How about you? To the back. And then to that other side. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, last stretch here. I'm going to move my camera just a little bit so I have a doorway. So simple, but so effective. I know, right? Sorry, you can see the broom there, and I'm going to have to open my door. Don't mind the mess. I'm going to stand in front of it. So you're going to take your arms on each side of this doorway, and they're going to be like goalpost arms. So you're going to put your elbows on the inside of this doorway and then step forward just one step. So you feel that stretch all the way through your chest. You can feel your shoulder blades squeezing together a little bit. So that means you're also getting strength into the back of the shoulders, which is something I focus on in all of my programs because it can help you so much in daily life and to keep that chest from feeling super tight. You can roll your neck from side to side. That feels good too. All right, release. And the last thing that we want to end with, and that's what I always do, always end with a good shake or a good dance it out. Shake out the tension. It gets you to let your mind go, makes you feel a little bit silly. Oh, I lost you for a second. So those are all my stretches. I hope you had a wonderful morning stretching with me. Thank you so much for joining me. I will pop this video in the blog as well, so you can follow this anytime. It'll be up on this page as well. Remember, if you're doing this at nighttime, you're going to go from those standing positions to those lying positions. And if you're doing it in the morning during the daytime, go from lying to standing. Just that difference to get your body ready for whatever the day has in store for you. My name is Madison. I'm a pre- and postnatal coach and a birth doula coming at you from Baby Palooza. So excited. Thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.